Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2023 GT3 season. It's season 4 for Rainlight Racing, and we're here at Zolder tonight for round 3, as always sponsored to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ and True to Life Racing Designs. I'm only one half of this comms team, and as usual, I've got right beside me the J-Man. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, mate. You're the better half. We know that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
My missus would agree with that, but yeah. Look, we are here at Zolder, J-Man, for round 3 after a couple of technical issues actually last week. We'll just get the elephant out of the room straight away.
Just don't say it.
Just look, it's going to be awesome tonight. Monza last week, and for a sort of little enduro race, a couple of little techie issues server-wise. Look, everybody had a ball, but definitely an interrupted coverage. But tonight, J-Man, round 3 at Zolder, back to the sprint races. We've got an hour-long race here. Like I mentioned already, brought to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ, and True to Life Racing. The boys are just about to roll, boys and girls, should I say, just about to roll out for the first half of qualifying. J-Man, split quali.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So based on those official times that were just rolled out in that official practice session, I believe the bottom half, the slower drivers will go out first for 10 minutes, and then you'll see the quicker guys run out the back end for the second part of it.
Yep.
Overhead conditions, quite cloudy. We've seen a little bit of mixed bag, a drying track already in the official practice, going from wet to dry. Looks pretty reasonable out there. 4 o'clock on the... Oh, hang on. No, what am I looking at? Yeah, 4 p.m. For this qualifying. I believe we're going to race on the Sunday. This is Saturday, 4 o'clock. Sunday, 3 p.m. race. So be interesting to see what the weather holds for these guys. But does look like, from what I saw, Davo, that there's some guys and girls out there that have tuned these things up for either condition. Based on the laps I was watching, they look well comfortable in both conditions.
For sure, for sure. And look, at one track you definitely need to be comfortable with your car on is Zolder, J-Man. Not the most forgiving circuit on the series, is it, mate? A little bit tight, a little bit skinny, and a couple of killer chicanes, my friend.
Yeah, so my pick tonight, it'll be track cuts will be well on the tip of a few drivers' tongues, and
you think so?
Yeah, and also those big heavy braking zones into those chicanes, and obviously that's where the track cuts come from, but also that's possibly where some of the mistakes. It's not hard to come down the hill for the second chicane and just grab a little bit too much of the right-hand inside curb and get the thing all messed up. So the cars are heavily unloaded as they drop down the hill there and then load back up. So
yeah, easily done, easily done. Also, there's a couple of spots to corner cuts. It's a very awkward turn 1, J-Man. Easy to run wide on the exits and get out in the sand. You don't want to be out there. And look, in a heavy pack of cars, the double rights, not far after that, I think it's turn 2 and 3. We've seen action in the past, mate, where when the pack is bunched, quite easy to get contact through those couple of rights corners. But yeah, the chicanes, oh God, ever so ominous, and yeah, some pretty chunky curves to navigate, J-Man, and some of these cars deal with it a lot better than others, so I'm sure there's been plenty of setup work going on throughout the week to get them squared up, mate.
Yep, and so the beautifully presented 99 car of Louis there on cam, that's one of our official sponsors there, AJ Champ, so good to see that car out there. Looking, he's tucked up in behind. Who is he tucked up in behind there? I'm just
that's Joe, actually.
Oh, Uncle Joe, yeah. So He's out there. These guys will start banking some indicative laps. Actually, they already have with Harrison Bella in there on a 29.4.
Yeah, so not a shabby lap at all there from Bella. Nice time actually, J-Man.
Yep.
And provisional 29.4. James Foster on a 30.7. So it's a vast margin, J-Man. So these guys are definitely hitting their marks here. James Foster in another one of the, like I call them, the long bonnet cars. The Aston Martin. Oh, don't we what? In the Aston, sounds bloody fantastic too, this car. So Merc provisionally first, Aston provisionally second. We love that. And obviously we can't forget Louis. He's also in a front engine car as well as one of the BMWs. So.
And you mentioned the potential for a run wide in turn one, and just as you're off cam just before, Louis is currently on a cut lap because he actually did run that thing wide through turn one, ended up in the grass there. I think he had just gone inside Uncle Joe there, let him past, I think, at that point, but then Louis just missed the apex there and ran it a little bit wide. But I see we got a yellow flag on the front straight waving.
I did see that. Didn't spot what that was for, J-Man, but I just noticed T-Fam's actually in this group of qualifying cars. I wasn't sure how they actually structured this qualifying, whether it was the slower group and then the faster group for the second qualifying. T-Fam, clearly one of the fast group of cars, so he's put himself in provisional pole with a 29.1, J-Man. Now we're getting down to business, very quick time. And
yeah, you raise a valid point there, Davo, because you would argue that the T is definitely, had some good pace throughout the series already. Yep. Now, is that a strategical play, do you think? Maybe that he didn't post such a good time in that official practice session to give himself a better opportunity of track space out here in this one? I mean, the cars going lower than him is higher, obviously, but I'm a little surprised.
No, yeah, quite possibly. And just looking at the conditions at the moment, just visually anyway, it looks overcast. And we did touch on whether there'd be any rain, I think, off air and also just earlier. Could this session end on a wet track? So that would be smart.
The polar opposite, actually. We started out, I can tell you, the weather report, we did have just complete overcast cloud on the weather graphic as we rolled out into the session, and already on my graphic I can see the sun starting to coming out behind the clouds. So it will favour the back end of the session a little bit. These guys are effectively laying down some more rubber for your back 10 or 12.
10 or 12 here, yeah. There you go. So I mean, these are the variables, and this is the gamble that you take, and qualifying is so much of a gamble, isn't it, J-Man? So many variables to take in such a small session, and I think, I mean, it's so worthy to take, like these shots at qualifying, because track position is going to be critical here at Zolder tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, it is. Now I'm just gonna grab some data here, and just to give you a idea on, okay, I was just trying to see if I could bring up FP1. I was just trying to see if what I could bring up. Okay, so obviously varied weather conditions. We did see the quickest lap time in that FP1 was actually looks like a 1:31.2. So that session must have been very wet. So 1:28 from T-Fam. So weather conditions favouring a faster track at the moment. So I think this is probably going to put Harrison Bella and T-Fam, especially at the moment, in good stead. Obviously, these guys, as we mentioned last week, you're going to have to do their quali, sit back and watch the rest of the field go out and do theirs, and see where they fall.
That's it. I mean, that's the reality of it, isn't it, J-Man? And we saw this last week at Monza. Awesome stuff actually to watch. and I'm sure it is nail biting for the boys that have run first in this session.
Well, it's new to us, mate, but I'm starting to warm to it. To be honest, I think it's a great concept based on the fact that it's almost like a mini top 10, if you like.
It is. Well, I mean, at least the drivers get a little bit of spectator time, don't they? They can sit back here, you know, obviously the second group can watch that first group run, and then obviously first group sits back, gets back in the car and watch that second group run. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, quickly becoming a fan myself, I think, J-Man.
Yeah, 100%. And Daniel Kim on a great lap at the moment, 1.6 up, obviously currently in there on a 130.9, so he definitely needs more than that, but the lap is building, and he did pop up on my radar in one of the free practice sessions earlier tonight, that Ferrari was pressing along quite nicely. So look to see what Daniel Kim finishes the final sector and chicane off like.
The final chicane, there's 3 chicanes on this circuit. The final one isn't too bad. It's not as high in the curbs, and it's a little bit more smoothed out as we just watched Daniel come across the line, putting himself in provisional 3rd, J-Man, with a 29.2, so not too bad there.
Louis probably not got enough to improve, but does improve the time to 130.6.
Okay, now is this at the stage we'd expect these boys to start to roll into the pits and the second session to come out? I think we've got a 20-minute session, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the ruling is, but I suspect if they've embarked on the lap before the 10-minute mark is up, they would be allowed to finish.
To complete it at least,
However, it will get pretty busy, although they'll be finishing on that lap. We will see the likes of Gunther, Maverick and co that have rolled out, cycling up, warming the tyres up.
We're seeing that right now as we just focus on Nick First car. So these boys, and I'm sure they'll want to sort of get out and start getting down to business. And traffic, I mean, just look at them now. We're just seeing Gunther roll through, and some of the Venter boys, obviously Nick Firth and Crossy behind him, they're all quite bunched, J-Man. So probably, take a little while just to get, find their space on the track to actually get a good banking lap down, eh?
Yeah, and, but in saying that, they've only got that 10 minutes in there. So, having a, just under a minute and a half for a lap, they're not going to get that many flying ones in, because that first one is, like you said, a little bit slower. I can see the guys weaving, getting some brake and tyre temps in. Once that goes down, they are going to have to press on pretty hard, and I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely. Absolutely, and it's probably one of the downfalls in this split qualifying, but still awesome as it is. But I noticed that Maverick and Gunther Road, they're just nose to tail at the moment, have got out early, J-Man, and got out of that traffic and that little bunch that we were just talking about, and immediately on the pace, on their flying lap, clear track, J-Man. So these guys are in good stead to really hit those marks early.
Yeah, so I'm just sort of going to keep my eye on, I can tell you now, Yucko's already had a cut lap on his first flying.
Oh no, already, yep.
Yeah, Matty T's going pretty well, as we saw in FP1.
Oh yeah, actually, yes. Doing excellent times, yep.
Pete Dawson, another guy that we've seen feature very strongly in the first couple of rounds, he has had a track cut this one as well, so a few guys just getting a little bit wrong on that first flyer.
Yep. Actually, I'll just go back to Maverick there. He is in a different car tonight for me, J-Man. You're showing that as well, the number 3 Maverick car.
Yeah, same car, BMW, but yeah, different livery tonight. So.
Yeah, different livery tonight from the Maverick. Second provisionally, Gunther Rowe. 5th provisionally, J-Man.
Matty T up into 3rd.
Oh, actually, they're quickly pipped by Matty T, so back into 6th provisionally. So the times will start cracking through. Vote in 10th provisionally, just getting knocked down a little bit there quickly as it'll almost...
Brandon up to
Pretty
third,
quick
knocks
now.
Maddie to fourth.
So Yako, as you mentioned, get a little bit of a track excursion
He's
there
back in
on
the
his
race
lap
at the
lap.
moment.
So now he'd want to get cracking, wouldn't he? Get that backer in. Tennis also 6/10 up on his time, and you did already mention Pete Dawson in the stunning white Lamborghini, J-Man. He has shown some good form. Expect to see that car up the pointy end.
Yep, Brandon Webley on a time that'll see him go to provisional pole if he can follow this one through.
Yep.
As he comes down to the second chicane. This is the tricky one. Easy to get a cut here. Gets a good kick off there.
Yep.
Carries the speed through there. Only drops about a half a tenth through there on his provisional.
And that run up around this right-hander, super tight.
Flat chat through there and then hard on the brakes.
Wherever possible. That's right.
Yep.
Because it's not always possible, is it, to run flat up around that little right-hander there.
Good exit out of there. The Delta's building.
He's got to run down to the final chicane here. So nice work from Webley. That is Matty T. Went back up into second, then back down to third.
Pete Dawson into second.
Dawson into second. T-Fam still holding out first position, J-Man. Here comes Brandon.
Webley's going to take pole here.
Here we go. Bam, there you go. Nice work from Brandon. That is Firthy in the background as well. J-Man, I think, just coming across the line. No gain there. Was he? Oh, no, maybe a cat lap as well.
Potentially, but I tell you what, Tinnis is on a lap here.
Is on a lap
we'll
here.
see him go into P2 by my calculations.
So as he runs down to the line here. Bam, like, called it, J-Man. Second position, 28-2. Tidy lap.
Yep, still plenty of guys building here. Vota is on a good lap. He's just come through the first chicane, heading down to the second. He's carrying close. Oh, it's a track cut.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Now Maverick up on his time, and Matty T. Matty T actually pipping Maverick at currently, but Maverick well up on his time, nearly half a second. Half a second. Is that enough? It's not enough to put the car on the front row. So this is how tight it is up the front.
It probably actually will put him on the front row. Yep, there he goes, 28.215. Pulls it across. Expect to see him escape the pits with 3 minutes 48 to go. He's still got enough time to bolt on another set of tyres and go and have another go.
Yeah.
Does
he do it though?
Sorry, that's Pete Dawson, fifth. Maddie T's all the way down to sixth now. She was sitting in third. I tell you what, the lap from T-Fam, as I mentioned, 28.550, was a great lap.
That's no shabby lap. No, that's exactly right. And yeah, it really have held these guys out on that lap time until about 2.5 minutes to go in the qualifying session. So, 3.5 minutes, should I say. So, yeah, well done. We are focused on Gunther Rowe at the moment. He was just up on his Delta. Jaco has slowly been chipping away at his time.
Yeah, Jaco's got a second in his pocket, 2.25 seconds, 1.2.
It's gaining there nicely. Gets out of there solidly, J-Man.
This is going to be a big lap.
He's going to need this.
It sees him into P6.
P6 nicely. He struggled on his first flying lap.
And I've got my eye on our pole sitter as well, our provisional pole sitter, Brandon Webley.
He's going hard again.
Yep.
Vota coming down now to the final chicane. He's nearly a second up on his time. That would get him in roughly around about 12. Probably not even in the top 10, J-Man. How tight is this field?
Oh, very tight, as we just see Will Dixon just 15. Make the 10 on a 29.1. And to tell you now, Matty T sitting down in P8. Nico Cordia done a nice job, slightly up on his time at the moment. He's in P9. Not really seeing a lot of green deltas out of too many other guys.
Crossy just up on his time, pops himself into the top 10, J-Man. Just jumped up a couple of positions there, so, and looked like he worked hard for it.
Yeah, right on the bubble. I've actually raced Crossy in the past at this track, and he does go very, very well when he's on. He has got a great feel for this track. So Maverick up a 10th, he'll need
yes,
he'll need a few.
He'll need
a few tenths.
Will Dixon also up a couple of tenths, but that would only just, that'd actually sneak him up a couple of spots, J-Man, if Will Dixon can hold a couple of tenths to the end of the lap. Nick Firth in the Firthy's Chicken McLaren there, he had a tenth or so, but looks like he's struggling down the back end of the track here. J-Man Yako again. We keep getting his name flashed on our Delta, don't we, J-Man, on our data here. He's up. So yes, himself, Nico, and Will Dixon, all wants to watch.
Yeah, Yako's building on a lap here. Could see him go up as far as P5 on the current prediction.
Cordia across the line. No change for them.
Matty T's managed to get across the line. So has Nico. Where is Crossy? Crossy with 28 seconds to go. He's going to get across the line to do another lap. Where's Will Dixon?
Dixon is
around the lap. He started another one as well.
He's already started, yep, and down a little bit on his Delta. That's unfortunate. But most of the guys out there still up on their times, J-Man. They're really working at the back end of this session.
Yep.
Really want to make a difference, like we mentioned earlier.
Tinnis into P2 on a 28.0.
Oh, nice work from Tinnis. Maverick up on his time by a tenth. J-Man, that's not enough. We know how tight this top end of this field is. He's still only halfway around the track, if that.
Yeah, Pete Dawson's got a couple of tenths in his pocket at the moment, heading down to the final chicane, 10th and a half.
Oh, yep.
That'll be enough to go up one more spot if he can carry it through.
Oh, mate, and like I was just about to mention, the track position here is critical. Very curly little track, a little bit skinny. I don't think he's making a gain there, J-Man. No.
He just dumped it at the final chicane. It was unfortunate, but Tinnis has got 2.5 tenths up his sleeve.
That would put him on pole position if he can pull that to the end of the lap. Let's watch this run down. Looks like Dawson's had enough. Bella's still out there. Tinnis. Dawson's back in the pits.
So he just needs to get a good entry exit out of this final chicane. He's got a couple of tenths in his pocket. No big kick off of there. He's going to hold that few tenths. Close to it. This is going to be enough for Paul.
This is close. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Nice work, Tinnis.
Very close.
Pole position for round 3 here at Zolder, J-Man. Excellent
job.
Yeah,
very good lap. Congratulations to Tinnis on that lap, and to everybody else: Brandon Webley, Maverick, T-Fam, Pete Dawson, Gunther Rowe, Jaco Venter, Madison T, Nico, and Steve Crossland make out the 10. Very good showing there from everyone. T-Fam, for me, that was the early lap out of Group 1 that maintained 4th position throughout that. So he'll be very happy with that lap.
Yeah, for sure, J-Man. And the nerves sitting back watching it.
Yeah.
Hard to spectate. I would have walked away, I'll tell you.
So 40 odd seconds before they roll out for this full formation lap before they embark on the 60-minute sprint race. Do we have a graphic on our current points situation for the viewers, Davo?
Let's have a look.
So we'll give you an update on the Rainlight Racing current points situation, and you can see that Charlie Booth in first position over Maverick, Jaco Venter, Tinnis, Pete Dawson, Steve Crossland, Nick Firth, Steve DS, Brandon Webley and Gunther Rowe make out the 10. Now, I believe you need to add 50 points to all of those drivers that made round 2, plus 1 for Mav. So Mav would have chopped that margin down to...
for the pole.
Yeah, for the pole position. So obviously few names missing tonight out of that list. with the potential of a few new drivers in there that, well, a couple of guys that may not have made the previous round. So big gains to be made here tonight from Maverick over Charlie Booth, I think, because
yes, definitely.
I haven't seen Country on track tonight.
Charlie's not on track tonight, so yeah, definitely gain there from Maverick, and given his lap time, he's definitely going to make that a worthy gain. Yes, as these boys go around for their full formation lap, J-Man.
Yeah, so there'll be a shake up in the points by the time we get to show that graphic by this time next week.
Yeah, well, it's sort of pretty much status quo from round one, apart from an out of 50 points. So it's a pretty level playing field still, and yeah, plenty to play for. J-Man, like you mentioned. 24 cars on track tonight. Great turnout actually for Zolder. How's that weather looking?
So I can tell you now, based on the graphic, that we're seeing a timer clock with a 5-minute increment and then a 15. So the weather randomness is quite unpredictable tonight. The randomness server side looks like it is turned up a bit. And we have got overhead cloud conditions, no apparent sun peeking through as of this stage, so could go either way, Davo.
Could go either way. Could go. That's what we love. That's what we want, J-Man, up here in the comms box, and anybody viewing live. Make sure you like and subscribe, of course, and enjoy the next hour, next 60 minutes here. Brought to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Tamp, and True to Life Racing Designs. They're the guys that bless us with the things we all need, and that is online racing. They're rounding the final turn, all formed up here. This is round 3 from Zolder, J-Man.
A good looking formation here.
Very nice, actually, very tidy, nice and tight. Twisty track, awkward turn 1. They're going to go green. Here we go. Nice jump from Mav straight away. Looking for some room on the inside of Tennis. T-Fam bringing it up from behind there.
And who's that
Matty
on the
T
outside?
and Cordia. Going side by side, I think it's actually Matty T that got passed through there. Steve Crossland showing his nose there
Gunther
as well.
Gunther with a good start as well.
Great start from Gunther.
Too wide down through there. Looks like
one of the a bit sideways. That's that double rights. You see that quite often here in a bunch of field. Look at this field.
It was Matty T.
From Nico,
and
Nico back. That's Matty T. Then we got Crossland. A couple of Lambos. We got the Merc in there.
Yeah, a few guys straight behind in there too.
We got 30 in there. We got Photo, Nightingale. It's all happening.
Yeah, Mav down the inside of Webley too, the second chicane,
yeah,
Davo.
Just see that now. So Webley back into the hands of T-Fam there, J-Man. Gunther Rowe actually putting plenty of pressure on T-Fam already. And that's
lots of pressure.
Pete Dawson, and we expected to see that white Lambo up in this top group tonight. Jocko, mate, he had just a up and down qualifying, but look where he is there, right in behind Dawson now. Nico Cordia, Matty T holding down in the top 10 there, and Daniel Kim in 10th with Steve Crossland all over the back of him, J-Man. It is on.
Very much, yep. That is heated up so quickly. That was, I believe that was a pretty important move for Maverick too, to try and get down the inside of Brandon
Get that done early.
And try and chase down Tennis, because Tennis showed that he's clearly got that 1 lap pace. What has he got as far as a race car underneath him? We're going to find out over the next 60 minutes, but more so probably over the next 10 minutes we'll be able to see what Mav and Brandon, because Brandon obviously a little surprised by that move from Mav, is sort of still hanging on the back. So as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, track cuts be very much something to to keep an eye on here. So if you see a drive-through, the likelihood is, yeah, track limits. The guys get 3 free. The fourth one's a visit to the stewards. So
yeah, get the wallet out and pay the bribe, and they'll let you back on track. So that's how they roll. Nico Cordia, J-Man, he is like hot. He's like a cork in a bottle here. Look at the trainer cars behind that green Lamborghini, J-Man.
yeah, Matty T next in line, Daniel Kim. We always see these Matty T and Daniel Kim always seem to find each other on track. That's a great start from Danny Kim too, because he was one of the first group of qualifiers and was a fair way back. So sitting in P10 at the moment.
What a trainer cars though. It is pretty solid all the way back down to Harrison Bella in 15. So that's Nico Cordia in 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Rounds it out with the green Mercedes. So that is a solid pack, and it's running hot. That is Perth actually right in the middle of it, just starting to give Dixon a little bit of a hurry up. Matty T, like we just mentioned, all over the back of Cordia in the Lamborghini. That is intense, J-Man, right there.
Yep, bottlenecking up the elastic, you know, the rubber band effect into the chicane there really gives you an idea that these guys are super close. Got to be super accurate under brakes here, not to brake that little bit too late. As Firthy's really hungry on the back of Will Dixon at the moment, Davo.
Yeah, it looked like he was getting a little bit agitated, wanted to move forward a bit quicker than everybody else. It's not the way it rolls in a pack that tight. J-Man, as you know, just got to bide your time and just wait for those mistakes and then, you know, pounce when the time is right. But yeah, just looking back, Pete Dawson and then a big back to Cordia. And then the trainer cars, he's actually got a little bit of a gap. He's gapped Matty there, and Matty has probably got a bit of breathing space back to Danny Kim.
Not a lot. There's only probably just under half a second, which is what the gap at the front is. Also at the moment, there's only a half a second between Tinnis and Mav at the moment. So Maverick, like we said, needed to get past Brandon and get up there to challenge Tinnis for this race lead, or at least stay with him for the now. Yeah. And he looks like he's working hard to even be where he is behind Tinnis there at the moment. Yeah, he has got the fastest lap of the race at the moment on a 28.977. So very quick laps. You know, we saw these guys, that was pretty much on quali pace. So the guys are fired out and got some quick race cars underneath them. Yes, straight down to business, J-Man. Look at those three go. That's Brandon Webley, who got rounded up by Mav in the first lap. He's not letting those two go anywhere. He knows he should be one car up, so he's hanging on the back of that little pack there. But T-Fam next in line. He's got his own battle going on with Gunther not far behind. And then as is at the moment, I just had my eyes on Yako, and you mentioned earlier Pete Dawson. Pete showing some quality racing in the first couple of rounds that we've seen. So and that car just looks a little bit speedier than Jaco's car. J-Man, in my eyes there, he just looks a little bit better. And he looked very comfortable in that car actually last week as well. So I think right on top of his setups, Peter Dawson. So, I would sort of expect him to put a little bit more pressure on Yako as this race goes on. And then behind that, we have that Nico train. So did I pick up that Firthy's ahead of Harris and Bella? Yeah, so he was ahead of Bella anyway. That's he was. Yep. He was. So if anything, I think Crossy hasn't changed positions either. He was behind
Kim.
Status quo there at the moment.
Yeah. So they've all stayed pretty well status quo. Like I would have expected, but they've spread out a little bit. So they've got a little bit of breathing space. It was pretty intense there a couple of laps ago. They're very close together. Obviously, early stages of the race, J-Man, but yeah, very intense stuff. And it's so easy to make a mistake when you're that close in proximity, isn't it, mate?
Yep. No, it is. Just having a look. Yeah, so it's a good little pack from Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe under heavy attack right now from James Foster in that beautiful sounding Aston, ranging up on the outside, heading down to turn 1. I see you picked up the graphic. You got a car down the inside, the final chicane. Who is that?
Yeah, that was Will Dixon and
yeah.
Kenneth Worth's sister.
Yep. So he gets that move done down the inside.
And so Joe, a bit hung out to dry here actually. Aston's gone past and he's got the, is it the James Foster car? The Lamborghini, just trying to sneak up, get amongst that.
That was James Foster that went through. You've the next guy is Brandon Foster.
Oh, Brandon Foster. Sorry.
Yep.
Mr. Foster's up. There you go.
Yep. You can see that if they get that chicane, if they just hit that middle kicker just the wrong way, it upsets the car on exit.
Terribly. And the second chicane, it does. And the second chicane, it's so easy to get a cut on, isn't it? So, as we just see Joe very sideways out of that second chicane. We're looking out of the front of Brandon's car at the moment. So tricky stuff. We knew it was going to be testing for these guys, J-Man. Daniel Kim starting to put the pressure on Matty T.
Yeah, these guys, no strangers out on the racetrack together. We saw this at Paul Ricard.
Yeah, definitely J-Man. And look, I think, again, Daniels just wants to go with Nico. You can see that Grand Lamborghini starting to stretch his legs there. And he'll want to run with, that is Crossy. And also, he's got Crossy right behind him too. So
the front, we've had a positional change. We've had Tinnis just run wide at the first chicane, and that's given the lead to Maverick.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that when the boys have picked this one up here, J-Man.
Yep. So you just got it.
So out of the front of Mav's car here, we're just looking as he chases down the Ferrari of Tinnis. Tinnis into that first chicane, gets a big bump off the left, runs wide.
And we just mentioned that ugly kicker off there was a drive, if not throws you right out onto the grass. So
easily done, and Tinnis immediately under pressure there from Brandon. So,
yeah, and just prior to that, Tinnis had actually set the fastest lap of the race.
Well, there you go. So he's clearly pushing
on lap 5, and then Brandon Webley actually bettered it with a 28.4 versus Tinnis's 28.5. So he's just gone quicker. So Brandon's just tucked on the back of Tinnis now, and he has got some pace. So battle for the podium is far from done in the early phase of this race.
Yeah, look, I can't help but feel that Brandon felt like that he was robbed of second position back in the first lap, and he's really hanging on to these two guys and trying to make it stick, you know, like just staying with him. He's obviously seen a mistake from Tinnis now. He knows that it can happen. You know, this track just begs you to ask for more, and that's when the mistakes happen. And pushing hard to hold on to it, mate.
And every time those mistakes happen, Davo, you and I both know that that could also have repercussions of a track cut in it also. So
easily, so quickly. Just getting my data flashing up here. Vota on Firthy. Firthy struggling a little bit. Vota actually looking like he's got a little bit of lag there, so we'll just pop off that back to Steve Crossland, who has got past Daniel Kim, actually, as we were just watching the boys up the pointy end there, J-Man. So, crossing past.
Not sure what happened there.
Looks
Danny
like
Kim got it wrong.
Yeah, totally missed his marker there, J-Man.
Yep.
Took evasive action, let that go. Let's just have a quick look at that, actually. Maybe out of the back of Crossy's car. and just have a look how close this was. So yes, very quickly Kim took evasive action, realised his mistake.
Crossy read it too. He actually opened the steering up.
He did. So yeah, good spatial awareness from Crossland, but yeah, good work from both of them there to avoid an accident that would have put them both off track. You know,
and he was flying.
He was flying. He
missed, the brakes didn't work at all.
He'd have missed a whole board, which is about 50 metres, so
yep.
Not ideal. Who's showing on my data here at the moment? Will Dixon.
Yeah.
Brandon. Brandon Foster.
I'll tell you what, the T-Fam back to Pete Dawson that battle is on. So that's P4 back to P7. Those guys are going at it. Yeah,
definitely. And as usual, or as was when we left them, Brandon right tight on the arse of Tinnis Venter there. So yeah, T-Fam, he's got a whole bunch of Gunther to think about, J-Man.
Yeah, and he does. And I'll tell you what, Mav is actually just catching up to one of our naming rights sponsors. Will be the first black car, which will be Louis.
Van der Venter, yes, in the 99 Martini sponsored. Oh, well, it's not Martini sponsored. It's AJ Champ sponsored, but Martini themed livery. Yes. So, of Louis. So, yeah, beautiful car. Maverick just starting to already file past some lapped cars here. J-Man, is this battle between T-Fam and Gunther Rowe heats up?
It does.
And very, very close behind is Jaco and Pete Dawson. So both those guys ready, just waiting to pick up any crumbs.
We've just missed something off camera there. Crossy, who was in between Matty T and Daniel Kim, has now slipped back to P13. So Crossy made an error there somewhere.
There you go. That's unfortunate. Tinnis and Brandon just round up Louis there in the BMW as we talk. So starting to get past some lap cars here, but Crossland, unfortunate J-Man. Who was he just up behind there? He was up in behind Madison, actually.
There was a bit of an air gap because him and Danny Kim.
But he was in between Madison and Daniel Kim, so
he was
in 10th position. So yeah, lost a few positions there, J-Man. So easily done here.
He's lost Danny Kim, Nick Firth, and Vota, so he's slipped all the way back to P13 at this point. So,
and it is on up the pointy end here, J-Man. My data is flashing at me everywhere. Second, third, we got fourth, fifth, we got sixth and seventh positions. Where do we watch? Jaco and Pete Dawson. That Lamborghini, it just does something for me. Oh, the white looks fantastic. T-Fam. And all the while, Louis Van der Venter is actually in amongst all that in the 99 Martini sponsored AJ Champ BMW.
Yeah.
He's got a mirror full of just on cars coming past.
Yeah, it's a great way to pay the bills, mate. Get the sponsored car in there. And,
well, he's getting that done, without a doubt. Oh, who's that in the background there, J-Man? That was Gunther Rowe. Oh, and he's come in.
Moment. Can we have a look at that?
That is big, J-Man. I've got a funny feeling that is a technical issue from Gunther.
Yeah, it didn't break at all. He just sailed on through.
Oh, and T-Fam's car looks terrible, J-Man. I just saw the aftermath of that before.
Yeah, T-Fam's back to the pits.
Gunther's car off track, into the wall badly. Just does not brake.
Yeah, I think Gunther's car's gone.
So he's either disconnected or he's had a major wheel and pedal disconnection, J-Man. That is totally unforced and clearly a hardware or software issue. So unfortunate for Gunther as we jump on in. Oh God, where do I look there? That has mixed it up terribly. Unfortunately for a few guys there.
Yeah, so Pete Dawson got a free kick there. He was the guy
Did he
sitting in
get
the back
through?
of that.
He's got through that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But who did not get through was, where has he ended up? T-Fam. He's gone back to the pits. J-Man.
Yeah, Harrison Bella's in the pits right now too. I see he's just brought the car in. I'm not sure what's happened there, but
that's hardcore. That is.
Yeah,
that is tough.
Bella to the pit lane. T-Fam's currently sitting in the pits. I suspect he'll be waiting on a tow truck penalty, which will be anywhere up to a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Something. So yeah, he's going to go down a lap or two here.
For sure.
It's a real shame. Oh, we've got a move coming here
Webley on tennis.
Yeah, tennis covering big time to the inside, really aggressively. He's coming back over as well. So
at a first glance, I actually thought the car in front of tennis there, as we can see on screen, was actually Webley, but it's not. It's one of the lap cars. And as they start to come through this lap cars, we see it, don't we, J-Man? The mistakes in who draws the short straw. You know, one guy might just get him in the right spot, the next guy not. And yes, so easily can you lose some time here. Wow, yeah, so has that mixed up the field, J-Man, or what?
No, it has, as we see the sun poking its way through the clouds. So the weather on the improve here tonight at 3:45 on a Sunday is the schedule. So yeah, optimum race track conditions at the moment.
Beautiful,
and I can't help but feel like Brandon Webley is the guy with the pace at the moment, and Tinnis had to do a very, very aggressive job of blocking and covering into one. So it's going to have to be assertive from Brandon.
Oh, definitely. And it's just down, I notice it's sort of board that tends to squeeze up down the end of the lap here, and again, we just see him as they run through this last chicane here.
Yeah.
And so he's right there again. Maybe not quite as close as he was last lap, J-Man, but yeah, definitely that gap ebbs and flows throughout the lap, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe a tyre pressure thing. Maybe Brandon's tyres are responding a little bit more to this extra UV that these guys are getting 20-odd minutes into this race.
They're both Ferraris, so...
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So hot on his heels. That battle isn't going to go anywhere soon, I would think, J-Man. Daniel Kim, did he get tangled up in that stuff earlier? I don't think so.
No, he's actually improved by a couple of spots from that. So as has Firthy and Voter and Crossy, because Crossy was 13. He's now 11th, so they are the beneficiaries of that
little unfortunate
incident.
Yeah, no, fair enough. As we just focus on Yarko, actually, he's actually just coming around some of that lap traffic as well, behind Pete Dawson. He's snuck his way through there, and that is, if you just look closely in the background there, Nico Cordia. He's lost that train of cars behind him now, and has a little bit of breathing space, J-Man.
Yeah, on sport for Nico now.
Yep. Definitely.
Once again, as you mentioned, Brandon catches back up at the back end of the lap. Probably just not the best exit off the final corner. There is a lap car that they're approaching, which would be... I'm just trying to have a look who that is.
Oh yeah, light green, blue McLaren.
That is Adrian Kramer that they've just rounded up there.
Yep. And so obviously Pete Dawson and Yarko and Nico won't be far behind these guys. They're all moving pretty quickly, albeit there was actually a bit of a gap there. You can just see
it's around 7.5 seconds last time I looked from Webley to Dawson. Yeah, there you go, 7.7.
Yeah, so so these guys are out. They are in a little race of their own, aren't they, out the front here, this top three, J-Man?
So what did I see there? So am I seeing my graphic correct? Did Danny Kim get past Matty T somewhere in there? He has. So I'm not sure what's happened there.
Oh, okay. Yep. No, he has
missed a mistake there from Matty.
He was behind because Crosson went past him before he went back a couple of positions. So there you go. So nice.
Crossy on Voter also. Yes, there's a fair bit moving around at the moment. So Crossy got eyes on 30. So Firthy's done a solid job this race as well. Part of the first group of qualifiers.
Yeah, so Crossy's come back from 13th. He's getting himself back in the top 10, but we have seen Gunther and T-Fam move back. So he's gained one position, but he's been gifted at least two. Yeah, J-Man and like I said, back in the top 10. He'll be happy with that. And we'll have the eyes forward. Dawson. Oh,
Yeah, so the blue flag's waving at the moment for Tinnis and Brandon as they just round up.
That's Yarko. That's Yarko coming back round. Adrian Kramer again, J-Man. So.
Yep.
And that's Nico. You can see in the background. So Kramer doing a fantastic job, mate. Just good awareness. You can see those guys coming up behind him. Puts his car in a nice, safe position for these guys easily to pass. He's not in any battle himself with another car, so it's easy for him to get offline for these guys and doing a fantastic job. That will help these guys no end.
Yeah, so the front three about to complete laps, lap 16, well lap 15, embarking on lap 16. I'll give you an update on the lap times from your leader. Has just crossed the line with a 1:29.2 versus Tinnis's 1:29.2 versus Brandon Webley's 1:29.4. So very, very close at the top end of town at the moment.
Oh, and quick. Very quick. Mate, they're the only three, aren't they? Oh no, there's a couple of boys in the 29s, but damn, it's quick.
Last lap round, I think they were the only guys in the 29s. Matty T, 30.0. Dicko Cordia was a 29.6.
Yeah, so nice work.
Yeah, so they're doing a great job out there.
Yeah.
I think very similar lap times to the leaders. What else can we see here?
Look, I think Jarko's catching Dawson here, J-Man. I've just been keeping a little sneaky eye on it as they just skim past a car off track there. I'm not sure who that was.
It was the Josh Nightingale car, mate.
Up against the wall there, just neatly out of the way as these boys fly past. But yeah, just be keeping a sneaky eye on Jarko there. And he is definitely ranged up on the back of this white Lamborghini here, J-Man. And I just wonder, again, tyre pressures, you know, we're getting towards the second half of this hour. And is Dawson just tyres phasing at the moment, and he's not quite as comfortable in the car. Ooh. He still looks smooth as silk. Though,
I tell you what, the boys stepped it up that last lap round. Maverick on a 28.8, Tinnis on a 28.6. Webley on a 28.7. They all just stepped it up big time.
They all responded. So again, you know, like we know as accurate as these tyre models are, but they do tend to phase a little bit, don't they, as you go in and out of the degradation, and they've definitely got their tyres on point at the moment, Joe Man.
Now they are approaching 4 minutes away from the half distance, so you'd expect that they've, you know, probably seen the absolute optimum of these tyres, but at 30 minutes and these tyres are well and truly good for a fair bit more. They'll be feeling it at the end of 60, but they'll be pretty comfy right now. If their pressures are correct, they'll hence the 28, mid-28s. Very, very good times, as actually Maverick caught another lap car. So I've been watching the margin crush each time he hits a lap car. It crushed down to 2.6. It's out to 3 seconds at the moment as he tries to round up. I believe that's the... Just trying to pick up whose cut that is.
And it all depends on where he hits that traffic, isn't it? You know, like what part of the track it is and on how it affects his lap.
It's Brandon Foster that they've round up. Now, I feel like Maverick got him. Yeah, see, he just dropped a 10th there from Tinnis with that lap car, but not a great deal in it. So they drop back into the 29s again, the mid-29s that last lap round. So yeah, we've seen these guys go 28s and then back to the 29s. So potential for those lap cars just to really just alter those lap times is quite real.
Yeah, so easily done, and just within a few meters, you know, like on a corner entry or exit, depending on where they hit that lap car is critical. And, you know, whether one gets it or doesn't, you know, is so critical to where you are going to land, Jamie. As Maverick holds out first position, has worked hard for it in the early stages of the race, but looking pretty handy out there with over a 2.5 second gap. There is the Mercedes of Harrison around.
Oh, look how close Webley is on the exit.
In the final corner, and then I think that just upset Tinnis's rhythm there, and Webley down the inside. Oh, he's done it, J-Man. I think Tinnis has let him go.
Yep.
It's a drag race.
Yeah, look to hold the inside line to the
and again,
to the double
here we
right,
go.
and Tinnis is going to come
right.
back.
Oh, that's so close. It's a drag race down to the chicane after this corner.
Yeah, and Webley's going to have the inside rights to the chicane, but it won't be the optimum line, so he does get back across.
Wow, that is
Tinnis
tight
back
stuff.
down to the inside.
Oh, and really compromised his own run there by breaking in deep.
Yeah, definitely grabbed a track cut out of that too, I would imagine.
Oh, so that little bit unfortunate. Some great side-by-side stuff there. Webley now past Tinnis.
Look what it did to the margin to Maverick. It doubled it.
Yeah, just that. Well, they were side-by-side for like 3 or 4 corners,
However, Mav just tucked up in behind a lap car, caught him right at the wrong place, basically down to the second chicane, and he's actually still behind Uncle Joe.
Yeah, up behind Joe there. And
still behind him at the final chicane.
Behind him, so yeah, Webley will
Blue
gain
flags will be waving here.
For some time, no doubt, as they continue to. Mav past.
Yeah, so that gives a couple of seconds back to Webley, because we saw it out over 4 seconds back to 2.7.
And Webley looks like he's just exactly back where he was before all of that, after getting past Tinnis, and then Mav struggling with the lap car. So
yes,
wow.
As we see the half race distance board come up. So half the race to go, and we're back again.
Tinnis backed off. He's probably just taking a few breaths, actually, J-Man, before he gets back into it. Running in the Titanium Digital Solutions Ferrari there, J-Man. So yeah, bit of a breather for Tinnis after a really intense battle that pretty well went on for the whole 30 minutes of the race so far.
Well, Steve Crosson looking for an inside move on Matty T. Gets it done. Matty T with a pretty beat up looking car there, the bonnet's up. So Crossy down the inside, no argument there from Matty T. That was, no, it wasn't. No, it was a lap car.
It was a lap car, J-Man. So
sorry, similar paint job. Yep.
Very similar paint job. Matty T in a Ferrari.
Yep.
So that is, I think that is Adrian Kramer, J-Man.
It is.
And that car looks like a little bit beat. Looks like the bonnet's up a little bit. It might just be the livery, but yeah, Crossy up into 9th. Actually, J-Man. So
yeah, doing a great job.
He's moved another position as well. Firthy actually just rounding up Adrian
we've
as
just
well.
Had lose it at turn 2.
Who's that? What?
I don't know. I'm not sure who it was. It was a black car. And we've had our first drive-through here. Car 721. Who was that?
And we've also had Tinnis. Looks like back past Webley. Hang on.
Vota with a drive-through.
So yes, Tinnis, round T1.
Yeah, rounds up Brandon again.
Where's
so that
this
battle
happen?
goes on.
Hang on. we get this on camera? We just get back the boys on the replay. There it is. He's around. That was no.
It was Webley that was around at turn 2.
It wasn't Webley that was around, but Webley left
Oh,
the
he
door
had to get
open
out of it.
as he got around it. So there you go. A little bit of a sneaky move from Tennis there up the inside, J-Man.
Webley, I thought he was going to send it down at the head from there.
He's like, hey, mate. That was my position. Bugger. He wants back. So now this is ramped right back up again. We thought Tennis was probably just having a bit of a breather back there. But no. He's just catching his breath, mate, ready for another pounce. So here we are, up against lap cars again. These guys have been getting the blues. This guy's like, which side do I want? Which side do I go? Gets into turn 1. That is actually Jonathan Tennis, the young fella in one of the other titanium digital cars. So yes, Jonathan Venter.
Yep.
So quickly rounded up by these boys. It was a little bit awkward to get out of the road there, but done a great job, as have all of the lap cars so far tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, they have. They've done a stunning job. But what that does, it relieves Maverick to the tune of 4.5 seconds over Tennis now. So that's, I guess, some say it's an advantage, some say it's a disadvantage to being the first car up on the lap traffic. But I tell you what, Maverick's making it work very, very well at the moment.
It is. They can see that a red, black and white BMW coming a mile off. Pete Dawson holding his own in 4th position, having a very nice, tidy race. Dawson, got gifted a couple of positions after an earlier incident. But just really just driving a good, solid, measured race, J-Man, as is Jaco. So nice work from those two boys. We've obviously got the trio up the top there doing their thing, but as we go down, Nico Cordia in good spot of clean air there, J-Man. Daniel Kim well back in the Ferrari there. Matty T also well back from Danny Kim, and with no threats from behind. Crossy is the next car, and he is well back, J-Man.
Yeah, it's another 7.3 seconds behind
from Madison. Yeah, so and Nick Firth actually isn't that far behind Crossy, but with Crossy's pace, probably won't put much pressure on him. But you can see both those cars in camera shot at the moment. Firthy rounding out the top 10, J-Man. So nice, tight, and looking like a fairly easy race at the moment through most of the field. Not too much battling going on. The field's pretty spread out as we look through. Will Dixon, Jonathan Venter, we saw him rounded up by, I think it was Chinnis and Webley and Joe Grimmer, Vota, Brandon, all these guys in pretty well clean air. Kenneth as well. I don't think it's with us. Adrian Kramer. Josh Nightingale, Craig McConnell. Harrison Bellett's still in the pits, J-Man. It looks like they've locked the toolbox up for that one. Alex
looks like
Sandberg, and T-Fam, I think that car is in the trailer and already on his way home. So
so a little bit of space there now for a few of these guys. Even the Tennis Webley one, 1.6 between theirs, 5.1 up to Maverick. So I'm not sure if the cam guys can give us a graphic in car with Steve Crossland, or we'll grab Steve Crossland down. And where is he on track, Davo? Can you give me a graphic of where he is? And we'll see. Where is he on track though, mate?
Just coming into the last chicane now.
Okay, so we'll grab him and we'll just grab Crossy down. You got us on comms, Crossy? Copy, Steve. You got us on comms?
Oh, g'day, mate. There you go.
Hey, mate, we just picked up on you. You wouldn't mind talking us through a lap here, would you?
No, not a problem. You want me to tell you what I'm doing to get through it?
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
Give us your best, mate.
Yeah, keeping it here, 3rd gear, license, light on the throttle, and then squeeze it. Get it into full tight here. Find that apex straight to it. There. Brake and turn in 4th, and get that late apex. 3rd gear, you want to punch it. Don't go too wide here. The sand will slow you down. This is the hardest corner on the track where I looped it before. Braking just after the rubber starts there. And you want to clip this first one and straight line the second, and you'll get a better run out. Over the bridge, keep it nice and tight. Don't want to drift too far out. Braking hard for this one. Second gear chicane. You want to clip, because if you don't clip, you'll lose time, but if you clip it too much, you're going to get a penalty. Squeeze it through second, all the way flat through here. Bit of drift, but not too far. Looking for the braking mark just after the rubber starts there. Oh, get too late on that one. Get that rubber down, throttle down as fast as you can, second, third. All the way up to fourth here, and then braking just after 100 sign. Second gear corner, someone spun. Who's that? Craig.
Yep.
Here we go, second, squeeze it out. That'll be a 30.3, I think. That one, not a great lap, but not too bad.
Very, very tidy.
Bang on, 30.355. Very, very good looking lap there, Crossy, at this point of the race. Still just under 22 minutes to go, mate. Thought you come up very, very nicely at the start of this one. I'm not going to upset your rhythm too much, so we'll let you go in a second. But yeah, overall, you're pretty happy with how the car's feeling?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I've been sick and a little busy over the weekends. I haven't had a lot of time on track, so I was hoping top 10, which I am. I was probably about 6th, I think, if I hadn't have gone off at the chicane here, but made the mistake. So I just gotta,
we did see you drop down the order. We didn't see what happened, so that's a bit of an insight for us. Thanks, Crossy, mate. You're a legend. Thanks for talking us through that lap, mate.
Enjoy, mate. Best of luck. You're inside the 10. Well done. Go well.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Steve Crossland, everyone. Just talking to us quickly through a lap in the office, so to speak, J-Man.
Doing a good job out there. Hopefully we didn't upset his rhythm too much, because he has got Firthy, how far behind? No, Firthy's about 4.9 behind. So Crossy bridging that. No, he's not bridging the gap. It's 8.7. So Crossy kind of just stuck in that 9th position, which isn't a bad showing.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Very tight at the pointy end. Some quick times. Jonathan Venta with Botta having a bit of a go, J-Man, as we speak. So into this very tricky, and we just heard Crossy call us through this. That is some of the quicker cars starting to come through now as well on these boys. Is Jonathan actually getting? No, that is for position actually. That is. Yeah,
Vota had to take a drop through, as we see Jonathan just run a little wide through on the way out of that second chicane.
But that green Lamborghini you see in the background is one of the lead cars. It is. So that is Nico Cordia in 6th position, and he will catch these guys fairly quickly, I would suspect, J-Man, and want to just keep that momentum as he has Daniel Kim to deal with behind him, although with a bit of a gap. So yes, those guys will be conscious of these cars coming up behind. No blue flags waving yet, J-Man. Couple more meters though, and I'm sure as they get out of here, Jonathan leaving. Oh, Jonathan's gone deep actually. Oh, he's gathered that up nicely actually, mate.
Yeah, he's got a good job there.
He could have been way off in the sand there, but he's dealt with that nicely. That's also Joe Grimmer in the background as we see those boys just run through that first complex of corners. It's like actually behind Joe. That is the orange car.
That'll be Crossy.
That is Crossy, isn't it? It is too, yes. So he's
rounding those boys up.
He snuck through the very quickly, actually.
And, and to give you an update up the top end of town, so obviously just while we were with Crossy doing a bit of a driver lap there, and that Brandon Webley has lost a significant amount of ground to Tinnis. But what I can tell you is Pete Dawson, who we did mention earlier, is closed that margin down. It's stating 1.7 seconds, but on track it looks a lot closer than that to me. So it'd be interesting to see what that delta is as they cross the line, because they're exiting the same corner at the same time now. So
Okay.
expect to see that be about the 1 second mark.
Okay, yeah, so we just see another
0.7.
drive-through for Jonathan Venter, and the yellow-orange car that I keep seeing is the orange Ferrari of Alex Sandberg, J-Man, not
Okay,
Crossy.
so that's a new car.
Okay, so that's a little one just snuck in there on us, J-Man, as someone in the pits
Madison
there.
T's in the pit lane.
Oh,
This will be unscheduled.
Okay, so we've got a couple of boys sitting in the pits, but we've got a drive-through pending for Jonathan Venter, is it, J-Man? Yes, it is Jonathan Venter. And Matty T, who's actually in 10th position, well, at the moment, I don't think she's going to be there for very long, into the pit lane for a stop. Do you think she might not have enough fuel in that car, J-Man?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure, and I haven't got the list up of who's prepared to talk to us and who isn't.
Okay, well, we'll just leave that one right.
Yeah, well, we might leave that one alone, otherwise I would have probably
Just grabbed it out of a quick chat. Now, just quickly, J-Man, Brandon Webley, Peter Dawson, what's going on? Peter Dawson and Jarko have caught up Webley no end. Webley has gone way back from the top group there and has dropped back into the clutches here now. Pete Dawson and Jarko. What is going on here too, J-Man? Do you think, look, and we talk about these corner, these track infringements, and if he's up to his quota, we know how these guys back off sometimes, don't they? They really do drive a lot more conservative race.
Yep, they do.
When the numbers are up, yeah.
So he could have backed off. Now, Matty T, to my recollection, is a driver that's quite happy to speak to us. I am going to grab Madison just down and see if her mic is live. Yeah, she's still in the pits, and see if we can get comms on Maddie. You got us, Maddie, on comms? Can you unmute and give us a quick word?
Yeah.
Is that an unscheduled stop, Maddie, or what's going on there?
I had a massive accident.
I saw the
I needed to repair for 1.5 minutes. So.
Oh, damn.
I was chasing down Daniel Kim as well. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, did see that. You had a great margin over Steve Crossan at the time too, Maddie. So head down, eyes forward, mate. There's still around 15-something minutes to go, mate. So all the best, Maddie.
I'll still get some points, so thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Enjoy it, mate.
Absolutely. Peter Dawson, J-Man, as we were just talking to Madison there in the pits after a big accident. Peter Dawson, J-Man, on the replay now.
A man on the move.
Mate, and he has got it out wide after the second chicane and into the wall badly.
Heavily
Very
into
heavy.
the wall.
That car sitting on the side of the track now.
That was massive. And who was that just escaped?
Oh no, that was
Jarko?
Well, that was Jarko, mate. He was right
just
behind him.
Avoided that.
So nice, and they had just gained onto the back of Webley, who had fallen back from the top two. So it was on. So the slightest mistake, this track takes no prisoners, J-Man. Walls are very close. It's very similar to Bathurst in some of the sections, where there's that little bit of grass just to accelerate the car into the wall. So, Webley,
move on, Webley.
Down. It's
pulls out of it.
Smartly pulls out of that one, but yeah, showing the intent immediately. This is on.
Yeah. So
out of the back, Webley's car. This is what he's got to deal with, J-Man. He's got one very, very determined Jarko on his tail. We have under 14 minutes to go. He's running out of time. He runs really wide.
Really wide, pushing hard, trying to get the power down. To try and he knows, he senses something's up here with Brandon. we've just seen him, you know, had all the pace, still holds the fastest lap of this race, but is he out of track cuts? Is the tyre in the wrong phase? Has he dropped pressures?
Yeah, for whatever reason. Why these questions,
Well, that's another thing we haven't mentioned. We both know this game. You can get high pressure loss from belting the curbs too much. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. And it can really upset the rhythm of the cars. We just see, I think that's Maverick actually coming up behind Will Dixon and James Foster, J-Man. He gets through past Foster. Oh no, past Dixon, should I say. And then on to Foster. So yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a trio battle that had sort of bunched up there, but it was actually just Mav coming through that pack. Probably upset these guys a little bit, and I think they were in a bit of a battle actually, Foster and Dixon, so Dixon out a bit early. This will probably just go back to status quo as Foster backs well off to let Mav through in T1. Yeah. So I think that'll be business as usual for the two boys at the back there, fighting it out, having a cracker by the looks of it as well. Lambo v Aston Martin, J-Man.
Yep. Now
we've got to get back to this Brandon Webley, Yako Renta battle. They are coming through lap traffic. Oh mate, they're just getting well out of the way. There doesn't want anything to do with these two guys coming past.
No, but that was important to get that done at the right time for Will Dixon and James Foster, because that is a battle for 9th and 10th on track. So, you know, needing to be super accurate about how they go about that, because, you know, if James Foster had got that wrong, Will Dixon was well close enough to pounce
right there. Yeah, right there to make up the difference. That's exactly right, J-Man. And yes, and well worth the fight, like you said, for 9th and 10th at the moment. So Crossy has fought his way back to 7th. There, Matty T having an unscheduled pit stop, J-Man. So I'm sure Crossy will be happy with his gains so far. Brandon Webley, a little over 10 minutes to go. This is the fight to the end of the race, I would suspect, J-Man.
Yeah, I think if Yako can get through, I think he's got enough car pace or whatever's going on. It'd be nice to know. I won't upset Brandon by dragging him down that battle. I certainly wouldn't do that to anybody. But I suspect that there was something going on there, because he's sort of stabilised a little bit, just looking at
it does look like that.
The dig has certainly fallen off. The guys running mid-130s as opposed to the 28s and 29s that certainly Brandon was running early in the race. You know, like I mentioned, still holds the fastest lap of the race on a 28.4. So that car, certainly not what it was earlier.
Well, clearly not. Definitely dropped back off the top two. You know, and here we go. Yako with a big look, and we saw this with Tinnis earlier in the race,
J-Man. Into the chicane though, isn't it?
Just really compromises their run, you know, like for attacking. Definitely not a place to pass. Tough track, J-Man, to pass here.
Yeah, just under 10 minutes to go too. You know, track cups will be starting to be pretty thin, I think, now for some of these drivers. Just the importance of squaring those hairpin corners up. Even, you know, that one there, that final chicane, exiting off of there, heading down the second to last chicane, heading down to this the hairpin, heading down to the final chicane, and then the exit off the final chicane is very, very important. We see Webley very sideways.
And both of them actually were out in the front of Yako's car.
Yako was sideways also, but not as much as Brandon.
Not as much, no. And so slight gain there. And he's wide. Webley's
wide on the entry.
Wide.
He couldn't go anywhere.
Nowhere to go. It's on.
I feel like Brandon's given that up based on the mistake there. Yeah.
If he'd only known that Webley was struggling with his own grip behind him as well, he probably wouldn't have given it up so easy. But Yako, should I say, was very sideways in behind him. trying to keep that car in check as the Webley car slowed down in front of him. So, oh, intense stuff, J-Man, in the closing stages here, my friend.
Yeah, it is, and they need to keep the pace up because, albeit Nico's got a couple of lap cars in front of him. Hang on a sec. Yeah, he's got a couple of lap cars in front of him. He has got some pace, although, yeah, he has got pace on these guys. He actually ran a second faster than those guys the last lap around. So 7.5, just under 8 minutes to go.
So he could walk away here from Brandon if, you know, given the right situation. Back up behind, that is the Adrian
Kramer
car.
Yep.
Again, the bonnet definitely up on that McLaren. He smartly gets
Brandon
out of the road.
in the lane. This is unscheduled.
Oh, surely it's got to be fuel. We saw him slow down, J-Man.
Yep.
Surely it's fuel.
I'm going to grab him.
Conserving.
Okay, I'll grab Brandon. Oh, I'm not sure if he's got any form of comms on to be able to talk to us. Brandon, you got the ability to talk to comms right now or not? No, doesn't look like it. No. He's gone back to channel. Yep, that's okay. I suspect this is something to do with fuel.
Oh, you would suspect, J-Man. Peter Dawson just on camera at the moment, slowly working his way through the field after a huge accident about 4 or 5 laps ago. Put that car, I think, back into the garage and had repairs done to it. So Webley into the pits, J-Man. How hard is that?
Yeah, so where does this drop Brandon at this point, depending on how long the stop is and how much fuel?
Stop.
Crossy's got him, so he's back to 7th already. Where's Firthy?
Surely you'd just splash the thing, wouldn't you? It's off the jacks. Oh, J-Man. Brutal to watch. Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, so Firthy's got him. Where's Foster?
Yeah, Foster's got him.
Rounded him up.
Foster's got him as well.
Will Dixon's going to round him up also.
6 minutes to go, yeah. So he's just snuck in behind Dixon there by the looks, J-Man. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he'll be in there for P11, is it, I think? Somewhere around there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yes. Daniel Kim and that. Oh, that's actually Jonathan. It's one of the lap cars. That's Jonathan Vetta. So nothing to look at there. Will Dixon. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. Now we saw Mav actually we saw these guys on track just earlier, a couple of laps ago, as Mav just rounded them up here. But now it's a different situation as Webley is actually an in-position car. So this is for position now, isn't it, J-Man? Is that correct?
This is for position, yeah, those two positions.
So
and we might see the first one get rounded up here as he gets a good exit off the
a mad exit. These guys are going to remember there's no blue flags waving. All right, so
comfortably gets that job done.
Oh no, as we just saw Dixon run a little bit deep after he let Webley through.
Yeah, so that's
Webley's
up to P9.
Got the eyes on, man. He'll have the red mist on, mate.
Yeah, he will. He's probably not all that happy about being dragged down to the comms box either, but
probably not.
He disappeared pretty quickly. And he's just lining up for a good exit here on James Foster. If he can get this thing out wide and then do a cut back down here.
Yeah, tricky. It's such a high speed corner. It's hard to get the.
Yeah, it is.
It's not an over and under corner unless the other driver runs a bit wide, and it's just nowhere to go here. Is there? You get this chicane, and it's so short a run up over this hill. Hard to even get the nose up there and get any overlap for it. So he's really got to bide his time again.
Ooh, Brandon Foster to the pits also. So that's going to be a gift for Uncle Joe and Matty T, I would think. Just have a look. Yeah, he's still on the jacks, so this will be a gift. That will be it, though. I suspect, looking at the margins on track, I would say Uncle Joe and Matty T will get him. depending on how long he is on those jacks. The next guy on for that one would be Adrian Kramer.
Oh, as Webley belts the back of the Aston out of the final corner, J-Man. Just hits him about 4 car lengths up the road. And
yeah, it's a difference in speed on the exit there.
Isn't it? It was clearly showed just there. Looking for that run, but there's a big chunk of Aston Martin right in front of him.
Looking for an inside here into the second part, turn 3.
Foster smartly just gives him space, stays wide, gets out of it. Nicely done from both there. And
yeah,
Webley.
So sees Webley back up to 8th.
Back up to 8th, so nicely done. Slow and just look, and how much of a recovery. God, what's he got next? Firth is well up the road.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go. That'll be about that.
That'll be about it. Yep.
Drive-throughs or anything like that.
So yeah, fairly spread field now after Webley into the pits with what we would suspect is a fueling issue, J-Man. So
yeah, Brandon Foster's still in the pits, so that might have been bigger than we thought.
Yeah, and yeah, so Jarko, you know, the standout here, probably J-Man, isn't it? Up into 3rd. It's still with a reasonable qualifying, but yeah, with so much going on in the race, he's found himself in 3rd nicely. And also Nico caught up, qualified down a little in the field tonight and has found himself in 4th position. Yeah, so a bit of a shake-up here. We actually, and one of the movers and shakers that we thought we would see would have been actually Maddie T after her pre-race practice times and was well in the top 10. And then, and herself having an accident and an unscheduled pit stop for damage. So, yeah, it's been a tough night at J-Man with a little over 1 minute to go here for round 3 at Zolder. Brought to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ, and True to Life Racing Designs. We're winding down.
Maverick trying to make a statement here with a lap and a half to go.
Lap of the Mav gods.
Yeah, he was up a couple of tenths on his lap. He's dropped it now, but I wonder if he was trying to make a statement there to grab that really, really fast lap there.
Well, he's got one more shot at it, hasn't he, J-Man?
Yeah, there might not be enough power underneath it, mate, but he's given it a red hot go, so he's probably going to be close to equaling his PB here as we see him come through and clocks over a 28.7. Now his best is a 28.630, so he was very, very close. So real comfortable out there for Maverick right now as he embarks on the final lap.
Yeah, tidy stuff. Tennis as well, good recovery, ran away with it at the beginning of the race. Looked like he struggled a little bit there towards the first third of the race, and sort of really regathered that and just kept his head down, mate, and held a really solid second position. And but like we mentioned, Jarko, Nico, Daniel Kim, Crossy even, all of those guys, really made some gains, either fortuitously or
Brandon Webley just about with another lose there out of the first chicane. Sorry, that's been problematic for him all night.
No, poor bugger, struggling right to the end, J-Man. But yeah, a few guys been gifted a few positions, and a few guys in the pits for unscheduled stops due to damaged fuel or whatever. So yeah, it's been an up and down race as it winds down. Maverick.
Mav nearly PBing again. He's only
crosses the line, J-Man.
Tiny little bit away.
Past the checkers. Yeah, top race from Mav. Really put his head down early on and chased Tinnis and kept up with him and was able to make the move. Tinnis, second position, good solid second.
Yep.
Jarko, the cameras catch up, cameras, here comes Jarko. Nice work, mate. I wouldn't have expected to see Jarko on the podium.
Yeah, look,
tonight when that race
he's had a
started,
solid race, mate. He stayed out of trouble, and you know, last lap around was a 29.9, so the back end of this race after 60 minutes to be staying in the 29s. Okay, the last lap was a 31, but nonetheless, he still made it. Well, sorry, oh yeah, 31.7. He still made it there. So well done to those three: Nico, Cordia, Daniel Kim, and then Steve Crossan, rounding out the final chicane as we speak for P6, and then he'll be followed up by Firthy's Fried Chicken.
Yeah, who is just right in the amongst a backmarker battle at the moment. He's like the meat and the sandwich of those two boys having a ball.
Yeah, so Firthy, then Brandon Webley, James Foster, and Will Dixon round out the 10. So another solid night of racing here at Rainlight Racing at Zolder, Davo.
That was freaking awesome.
It was very, very good.
That was outstanding, mate. We knew it was going to be tough. We thought there might have been a hint of rain, which would have even made it even crazier. But look, it has been a crazy race. Awesome, some big accidents and some good overtaking on a track that's not really good for overtaking. So yeah, nice job from all of the boys, J-Man. But we got things to do. Got people to talk to.
Yeah, so first cab off the rank tonight will be Yucko. So we shall grab Yucko down here. Yucko, you got us on comms?
Yeah, hi.
Mate, what a great race. To start us at the top, mate, what was your qualifying position tonight?
Oh, I think it was 7th or 8th, somewhere back there.
Yeah.
So, mate, what a outstanding performance. You stayed, we just mentioned on the broadcast there, you stayed out of trouble, made your way forward, couple of guys having a couple of incidents in front of you, but still second to last lap round was a 29.9, so still punching the great times late in the race, mate. Give us an insight to how you saw that race.
I saw it as just to keep my nose clean and put as much pressure as I can on the people in front of me. It was a difficult race. I just pushed as hard as I can. I think it's probably one of the hardest races I've ever raced.
Well, it was an outstanding performance looking from here, mate. You were well in there, you know, starting from that far back, you know. I mean, obviously inside the 10's a great job as it is, but, mate, to come out there in a very, very comfortable P3 in the end, no pressure anywhere. Great battle there. I think at one point, I think we saw Webley fall back to you. Obviously, he ran into some issues, but tell me, we saw a bit mixed bag of weather, Yucko, in the official practice. Were the tyres good? Were your pressures good? Had you considered the potential of rain?
Yeah, no, I've got a way to prepare myself for both instances. So I wasn't too phased whether it rained or didn't rain. Yep. So I was sort of well prepared either way. Yeah, it's just no problems with that. Pressure's all good. Tires was all good. Tires held up pretty well actually. I could still, like you saw, I could still push in some good laps right up until the end. Webley, I think, ran out of fuel.
Okay.
And that sort of, as soon as I went past him and I saw he pitted, I thought there was no more point in really trying to chase after the next person. One, they're too quick to chase anyway, and two, I'd need just preserve myself. This is a good position from where I started, I think.
Absolutely. And probably the last thing that I wanted to ask you is, how was the track cuts tonight, mate? We know you get 3, and on the 4th one, you've got to trundle through pit lane. Whereabouts were you as far as track limits tonight? Did you get any cuts?
I had to, sitting behind Dawson. So there's on the second chicane, I sort of let go when I was getting close to Dawson. So I thought if I was getting a good drive out of that, I can pass him into the hairpin. So I gave up 2, but that's the only ones I had. I didn't have more.
Good. So obviously really comfy through that first chicane then, Yucko. You had no issues like some of the guys around you did tonight.
No, that first chicane is sort of, we sussed it out early on in the practice sessions, just to make sure it doesn't give us. Well, I'm speaking for us as me and Tennis, but let's just say me. We sort of sussed it out really early on, not to give me any issues.
Yeah, well done. Well, he's the next guy that
Well
we've got to
done.
talk to. So, yeah, well done, Yako, on a P3 tonight. Anytime you make the podium, mate, is a good night. So enjoy it, and looking forward to what you got to deliver next week.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks,
Thank
Yako.
you. So there you go, Yako Venter there with P3. So next guy we've got is Tinnis. And we shall bring Tinnis down to the comms box. You got us on comms, Tinnis?
Good evening, guys. How was that race?
Oh, mate. Well, you tell us. Start us from the pole lap, mate. Talk us through that.
Yes.
Well, the pole lap was actually that was planned. I left it the last minute to cross the line so I can get the best track conditions.
Yeah.
So I just basically lined it up perfectly. I left about 2 or 3 tenths in it on the table, just to make sure I don't go off anywhere and crash my lap, basically. So, but it was quite a good lap. I think it was quite good. I was actually surprised Maverick didn't take me on the last run. So it was quite good. So.
Yeah, no, it was close up the top, but yeah, comfortably you did it in the end. And then obviously a great start to that race. Plenty of pressure from Webley and Mav, but held your nerve all the way up to that point where there's that little run wide out of the right-hander, mate, and just cost you there.
Yeah, so I think my whole race was I was in control. I felt in control. No nerves shattered. So I sort of got behind me to Maverick. I was just controlling it to be about a second, 8 tenths, round about there. But just before the race started, because it was we were predicting rain. They were predicting rain. I lifted my car 1 or 2 clicks front and back.
Yep.
And so when I hit that curb in that way, it kind of just gave me like a lazy slide off the track and just lost it.
Okay, so
unfortunate.
Yeah, so on that note, then, if you lifted the car a mil or two, did you alter your pressures with the prediction that it might have been a little wetter earlier on?
Yes, and I think that is why I wasn't losing touch with Maverick up until about, I think, 10 minutes ago. But my tires were getting really hot, so every now and then I had to take a cool down lap just to make sure I get the tires sorted again. But then with about 10 or 12 minutes to go, I got I started losing pressure in the left rear, so I think I got a puncture or something, and then I just basically left it. So just brought it home safely. So.
Nice. And last but not least, as I asked Yako as well, where were you at with your track limits, mate? Did you receive any track cuts tonight?
Only one. Weirdly, I was expecting a lot more, but only one. There was one spot where we were overtaking traffic, and I went a bit too deep into the chicane, the second chicane.
Okay.
So I cut the right hand side of the chicane too deep, and it just gave me a track limit. So.
Easily done. Easily done.
Ah, well, mate, outstanding drive tonight. Great qualifying, and then another outstanding race. Really put on a show there. Trading stuff there earlier on with Mav and Brandon as well. So yeah, it was great to watch, mate. But congratulations on P2. Like I mentioned to Yako, anytime you make it on into the comms box for an interview, you've done a great job. So well done, Tinnis. Enjoy it, and looking forward to what you've got next week.
Thank you very much. So
cheers, mate.
Well done. Tinnis Venter, everyone.
Tinnis.
Last but not least, J-Man into the Titanium Digital Solutions hot box. What have we got? Who have we got? We've got
Maverick on board there. Cometh a man, cometh a minute. You got us on comms, Mav?
I'm going to copy, Mav.
We got a green light. We got no volume. So this is Maverick, viewers. We'll let him just try and sort this mic out quickly, but a very, very commanding victory in the end from Mav once we get him on comms.
Definitely.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
yeah, gotcha, Mav.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Clear, mate.
Mate, we're going to start you at the top, mate. Tell us about that qualifying session. Very, very close, but just not quite at the end. Were you just not comfortable with the pressures, or you just didn't quite get it?
Yeah, just couldn't get into a rhythm, actually. Missed the braking zones, I think, on every lap, and lost a couple of tenths at the second chicane, and I just thought, I'm not going to get any better. And the two Ferraris Webley's been flying all week, so I'll just park behind him for the race and and see
Yeah,
how
so
we go.
talk to us about that. We thought that was very important at the start of the race. You putting it down the inside there to get that. Were you pretty focused? Yeah, on Webley, that you needed to get that done to be able to go with Tinnis.
Yeah, well, on the green light, went on the inside and Thinness closed the door, and I quickly switched back to the middle, and then I was a bit of a sandwich, and after the second turn 3, I think it was, Webley was on the inside, so I couldn't do much. So I just slotted in behind him, and just was thinking I'd be behind him for a while, but I think on the second lap he
something like that.
I think it was the second lap. He made a little error in the chicane, and then got him, and then got up to Thinners, but couldn't close the gap much, and just thought I'd park behind him, and then he did the same thing and went off. I was like, happy days.
Yeah.
And just sailed straight through, and then I just switched the car down to traction and just thought I'd coast for the rest and see what happens. And then the guys were pretty much 2 to 3 seconds behind me the whole time. I thought, if they get closer, I'll try and go a bit quicker. If they don't, I'll just sit there and
nice. So
try not to make any mistakes.
Yep.
Well, I just thought, you make one mistake at that chicane, and you
yeah.
lose a couple of seconds. So
yeah, and they were fighting amongst themselves behind you by the time you got past. So
I could hear them.
Look, I thought you did a great job of managing traffic tonight. We often say up here in the comms, it's not always favourable to be the first car in the queue when you're making lap traffic. But I thought your timing and your execution was pretty good tonight. I think the lappers, by the most part, did a great job of getting out the way. There was probably a couple there that maybe you might have thought might have gone a couple corners too long, but nonetheless, you still rounded those guys up. So, as I mentioned to Yucko and Tinnis, I just briefly quizzed them on the prospect of rain during that official practice session, and then quali, then race. And we heard Tinnis say that he raised the car a little bit, and maybe the tyre pressures weren't good at the end. How was yours, and what were your provisions around the start of that race with car setup and tyre pressures? Because your tyres looked very good at the end of the race.
Yeah, I didn't do anything in case it rained. I just left it. But I was always running a reasonably high front ride height and back, just to try and get over those curves.
Yep.
So I thought, if it rains, wet tires will do the job. But didn't make any adjustments, so I just left it. And it did. It did all right.
Dealt with it well.
Yeah, no, very well. And with the absence of Charlie Booth this week, Mav, that's looking very, very good championship-wise for you early on in the piece. So always a good night if you get to talk to us last in the hot box, mate. So well done, Maverick. That's an outstanding victory tonight. Really, really good quality racing up the front, mate. So got to congratulate you on that, and hope you enjoy the stream if you get a chance to watch it. And certainly looking forward to seeing what you have got to deliver next week. I'm sure it'll be good.
Thanks, guys. Good job on the previous streams. I've been watching those, so I'll might check it out tonight after I have a well-earned shower.
Yeah, mate, It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much. That is Maverick there, your race winner here at Zolder.
Yes, Zolder for round 3. Thanks, Mav. And what a cracking race, J-Man. That was not only for Mav, but just for everybody. Just what a great viewing that was. Some unlucky stuff for some, but we knew it was going to be a bit of a test of attrition tonight here at Zolder.
Yeah, condolences to a few. We've got to say, Gunter to start with. That was a shame to see him have those technical issues, and also, Brandon with the fueling issue, Matty T with a big crash. Also,
Dawson was it as well? With a massive crash in the Lambo. So.
Yeah, 100%. So that was a shame to see those guys go out like that. But congratulations to that podium, and also the likes of Daniel Kim getting up there into P5. I think also Crossy, good recovery from around P13 to 6.
And Nico Cordia.
Great fourth position.
Fourth position as well. Yeah. So
solid drive.
So yes, one man's.
Hey, another shout out too. I just want to shout out to Uncle Joe and the BMW. He started off P last in that race and brought that car home in P13. So
yeah, nice work.
There was a great job from Uncle Joe there. So as is everybody that turns up here at races, mate, we appreciate the display that these guys put on. It's pretty easy to call, isn't it, David?
It is. Yeah, these guys provide the action. We just tell you what's going on. We just explain in our own weird way about what's going on. That
is weird.
It is. It is a little bit. But,
all right, I'll let you pay
awesome.
some bills, mate. And
we're going to pay the bills. We're going to pay the bills. We've got to mention again, and we got to. Well, for starters, please like and subscribe if you love what you're looking at. Just click all the buttons, get the algorithms working for us. But of course, we're going to thank, firstly, Rainlight Racing for bringing us all together here tonight once again for round 3 at Zolder in what is the 4th season and the final season for 2023. But yes, 4th season of the GT3 series at Rainlight Racing here. Again, brought to you by Titanium Digital Solutions, AJ Champ, and True to Life Racing Designs. Man, without them, this stream wouldn't be happening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. Thanks to all the drivers for a fantastic show, J-Man. And
yeah, absolutely.
Tune in next week.
Cheers, guys. See you, Davo.
Bye for now.